My name is Gabriel. 15. I was walking down a deserted hallway with a friend of mine, because we just left lunch. And we left lunch early, so all the kids were still in the cafeteria devouring their food and whatnot. Now, before I go on, I should probably tell you that back in 8th grade, I was a very passive kind of guy. I didn't like violence. I still don't like violence, and I wish the world didn't have violence in it. But that's just the nature of things. The way I see it, middle school can either make you or break you. I can bet that everyone who's watching this has had some experiences in middle school that have probably changed your life in some way, either small or big. I've seen a lot of things in middle school, and I saw some things that you can't unsee. So one thing you have to realize is that back in 8th grade, in my middle school years, there was a new style going around. The skinny jean era was sweeping the nation. I still wear them, by the way. I wore skinny jeans, I wore band t-shirts, I flat ironed my hair, which automatically made me an easy target for criticism. So I would get the usual, questions like, hey, how do you even walk around in those pants? To the more hurtful comments like, you look gay, stop wearing those pants. And it is worse, but I'm not going to say it. And I would take this in every day and just, I wouldn't tell anybody about my problems. Now, if I can, I'd like to stop you right there and tell you immediately, don't bottle your feelings up. Like, take it from me, it's not going to help you. It doesn't help you in any way, shape, or form. Let those feelings out. I wish someone was there to give me that advice back then, but I was pretty much on my own. So there were two guys in particular that felt the need to remind me of the way I lived every single day during 8th grade. These guys dressed like Mexican gangsters, they had their North Pole, South Pole jeans with their button-up shirts, and they were cousins, so they were quite the dynamic duo. Now, their plans of attack varied from pushing my papers to the ground, calling me really, really bad names, embarrassing me in front of my friends. And again, I just dealt with this daily. It was like the daily routine at school. And if you've learned anything while listening to me so far, that's the wrong thing to do. And so this harassment went on for a couple months. Yeah, pretty harsh. I couldn't do anything. There was just so much fear from being bullied that I literally couldn't think of anything else to do. But I was beginning to really hate myself because I wasn't the same anymore. I was afraid to go down the hallways. I almost couldn't even live up with it. It was really bad. But there was a feeling, there was a war raging inside of me, and it wanted out. Something had to change. So I'm walking down a deserted hallway with a friend of mine, and my class is on the downstairs wing of the school. And every time I go down these stairs, the two bullies would be waiting for me. And so I'm walking with my friend, and we get to the top of the staircase, and he turns to me, looks me in the eye, and says, "Well, later, dude," and he just walks away. And the fact that he knew the whole routine of being bullied down there, and he did nothing to help me was pretty wrong. I almost broke down right then and there. So I started to walk down the steps to my doom. Heart beating really fast. I was feeling uneasy. As I take my foot off the last step, I see the first one of the bullies in the hallway. And I'm thinking, geez, these guys really have nothing better to do than just mess with me and make my life a living hell. But today was going to be different. Something was going to change. I was going to snap. And so this next part gets kind of weird because, as I said, I was a very passive kind of guy, so it's going to get a little violent. So as routine, my bully comes up to me, hits me in a chokehold, and starts messing with me. And so it's like fight or flight. And I start punching this guy in his ribs, And, I wasn't a very muscular guy. I'm still not a very muscular guy. But I thought I had some, Rocky Balboa in me or, Muhammad Ali, But I guess I didn't. And so I'm pounding away this guy's midsection. And then an idea comes to mind. And I whisper in his ear, "The teacher's coming." So that must have really freaked him out because his eyes got really wide. And he let go of me. So I'm like, yes, I'm out. And so at this time, the kids are coming back into the hallway. And they're flooding the hallway. It's like a theme park. And I use this as my advantage to get out of there. So I jet past the bathrooms, turn the next corridor, and who's waiting for me on the other side of the hallway? My best friend. I'm just kidding. It was the second bully. And out of pure adrenaline, I kid you not, I picked this guy up. Yes, like literally off. And I threw him against the wall, Hulk style. And I'm not kidding. And this was unintentional. I really didn't mean to do this, but I was on autopilot. It was just instinct, I didn't think I'm just going to pick him up and throw him. It was all instinct. And so I knew that guy wasn't giving up anytime soon, so I'm looking around for the other bully. And someone taps me on the shoulder, and I see a fist come flying at me, but it doesn't connect. Because as if aside from God himself, my math teacher is pulling the bully away from me by the back, and the guy's squirming like, let me go, like, I'm gonna punch this guy in the face. And this next part gets even more violent. You're probably wondering why I'm talking about all this violence, but I'll get to it. And so I walk up to the guy, he's still struggling in the teacher's arms, and I slap this guy across his face, like, with no fear. I know, what a way to go out, huh? I mean, it really felt like it came out of the Napoleon Dynamite movie or something. I mean, it wasn't very manly, but it got the job done, I did what I had to do, and I slapped that guy. And so, I felt like I had the power. For once it was me who was on the other side, I wasn't being bullied, I just had power, and I felt like a superhero. Now, after this whole ordeal, these guys never messed with me again. I mean, never. It was just not even a thought in their minds. You're probably wondering, where's the lesson in all of this madness? And there is a lesson. And the lesson is, you're going to have to fight for what you want in life. Nothing comes easy. There's no textbook on how you're going to achieve everything. I had so much built-in frustration that one day I just snapped. I couldn't take it anymore. I wasn't going to sit back anymore and just continue to be bullied. I changed mentally and physically. I became more positive. I wasn't afraid of them anymore. I mean, in all honesty, it was really a good thing that the whole altercation happened. I've heard tons of true stories about kids who get bullied in school. They'll bring guns to school, go on a rampage, massacre, suicide. And all those stories they really, really break you down, and they just make you really sad. Because no one should have to go through being bullied or go through a situation alone. No one should have to go through what I went through as like a daily routine. And it's just one of the bad things about life, there's so many kids who can't stand up for themselves, and they need somebody there to help them out. It's our job, the people who've experienced this and the people who know right from wrong, to pick those people up and to, stand up for yourself. And so I'm not saying go out and look for a fight or fighting someone's going to change your life. I mean, it just happened that in my case, that's just what needed to happen, It was just a freak accident, And so you've heard my story. If you can, please learn from it, because nobody deserves to be bullied. We're all beautiful, inside and out, and everybody deserves a chance at happiness.